and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. If you're interested in supporting the community and joining us along with all of our adventures, you can join us on our Patreon to do so, where you'll get to join our Discord server that does have all of the lore kept for each of our games posted mostly every week. Publicly for anybody to follow along with what is happening inside of this universe. In addition to that, you can also become a member here on our YouTube channel, and members are actually starting to get perks now. Although it is public for the time being, I'm going to be doing a weekly post of a simple encounter or quest that can inspire maybe an entire campaign, lock into a different campaign, or just be something to have happen within your party. So once a week, you get something that's a little unusual, not something you hear about from a lot of books, and it might be useful to you as a dungeon master or a player if you just want some good inspiration for backstory. But yeah, follow along with all of that. Members are going to start getting that post exclusively after we get a few more members coming in, though. But yeah, that'll be there. Anyways, aside from all of that, there's one announcement that I have to make, and that is tomorrow we are having our first large-scale universe event in New Embrace for 2021. Now, some of you who are following along the Sunday campaign know that one of the laws of the universe were broken. Tomorrow's campaign is going to be you all seeing what the consequences of that is, and seeing how the universe has to pull people together in order to safeguard itself when something like this transpires. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And we have somebody who's going to be a special guest showing up as well, and it's going to be very, very fun. Before any of you say it, no, it's not Matt Mercer, but he is an incredible GM anyways. But anyways, I think that's going to be everything for me. How about we get into the action? Corvus, what happened last session?
The last session was, fairly uncomplicated. We spent the first half of the session, talking about how much we were going to give to the dragon, which, ended up being a pretty fair deal, I would say. But then eventually we just made our way down. You steamrolled us right into the city just to save time there.
Yeah.
And eventually we just got to seeing the sights. Bought some candy, bought some beer, I think that was about it for what we actually paid for.
Though you learned a lot about the city.
That's true, we did. And then eventually we made our way to Fordham's house, where we met his family, all of them. Took a while. But it was a fun night. His mother apparently liked us, I think. I think we'd know if she didn't. And then we set up in the workshop for the night, I think, was where we ended things.
Yes. Now, before you all ended things, however, what the fuck is happening right here? All right, give me a second. I'm trying to resize this goddamn PDF. Pointer over here. Right there. That's good. 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 Is that good? That's good. But yes, as you all were brought together and experiencing what this very strong dwarven heritage-style family had entailed, you all did drink yourselves damn near into a coma, and Fordham got to go upstairs and rest up. Sleepy go bye-bye. Very easy. Very relaxing. Now, everybody. Morning rolls around. Fordham, you're among the first awake out of your companions, though you have no idea if they're awake or not because they're over in the inside of the crafts building out in your backyard.
Right.
All of your family is running around, making noise, hanging out, doing things. Presumably most of them are heading out to work right now, and it's butt crack of way too goddamn early, according to anybody else in the world.
Right. Yeah, since I don't really have a job, I'm going to get a plate from whatever Mom made. Walk out to the forge to peek in to see if anyone else is awake or not. Probably grab my tankard of ale or tankard of whiskey, whatever's left of that. It's the easiest way to sober up after last night. So, but I won't wake them. I'll let them sleep. I know it's going to be warm in there, and I know it's pretty comfortable. So, the family can wake them by just milling around and doing their stuff, but I'm not going to be the responsible one for that.
Yeah. So, early in the morning, you get one of your cousins. Let's go with Lan, who pops in.
Uh-huh.
He looks over at you, looks at all of them, and just like chuckles a little bit to himself. He's a bit more squat and wide. He has like the incredibly red beard on the edges, and like it's dyed black in the middle. He's a new age dwarf. It's a cool thing to do. And he looks over at you and points on the wall. Get me the tongs.
No problem. And I'll walk in, get the tongs, walk back.
Do you give me an acrobatics check as Corvus is sleeping underneath them?
No.
No?
No. I mean, I will if you want, but if I accidentally drop them, that would be bad. I'll just grab them, and if it makes some noise, and I'm not going to be stealthy about it, but...
Well, you're not going to try to gingerly step over him to grab them? You're just going to step and grab?
7. No, yeah, I'm going to step and grab.
Alrighty.
The world is awake at this hour. If they're not, that's their thing.
Corvus, you get a little bit of, like, the clip of his heel on your side as you're startled awake, and you look at him as he's grabbing a pair of tongs off the wall.
What was it? Who?
Sorry, good morning.
Morning.
You can go back to sleep. They just need these in the next room.
Bring him on over to him, and he grabs them and just chuckles. Hey, since you're in town, do you need a job? We can always use more people over at the jewelers.
Yeah, let me get them let me get them situated and I'll be over.
Yeah. All right, cool. Then he just heads off with the tongs, already whistling hi-ho as he walks away.
Uh-huh.
No. About an...
fucking course he is.
All of them are. The entire town is singing it right now.
Yep.
This is a working class town, okay?
If the
Everybody
entire town is just singing one song together, that's just creepy, in my opinion. I think we stumbled onto the next murder mystery setting, you know?
No, it's awesome.
It's a Disney movie.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team.
Yeah. But anyways, about an hour and a half past this point, Fordrum, you hear wheels getting pushed over towards this door that you're kind of like relaxing at. And then the door slams open with a very brisk wind that strikes all of you on the floor to wake up. And then on that wind being carried in is the smell of bacon and eggs and fresh toasted bread. As your mom is sitting there with a massive cart. All right, boys, we let you sleep in over an hour. It's time to get up. Come on.
All right. Guess that's fair as fair gets.
Okay, here you go. And she hands you a plate that looks about twice as much food as you could possibly stomach. And she does that for everybody. She hands you a plate as well, Fordrum, even though you ate her quick grab-and-go food for everybody heading off to work.
I appreciate it. I thank her and give her a hug, and just kind of enjoy with her the looks of astonishment that all these people have when they look down and see what she just handed them. That shock.
How many of me do you think there are?
We pick up some extra people to eat all this.
What are you talking about? We just made a good hearty breakfast. It's the best way to sober up.
Eat as much as you can, and if you don't, we can there'll be some left over. There always is. It'll be part of dinner.
Yeah,
was.
that makes sense.
But yeah, it is the best cure for hangovers. Scrambled eggs, nothing
Oh,
in
yeah.
them, bacon, greasy as fuck, and toast. The eggs can soften the toast. So can the grease. But anyways, the 4 of you are now awake, and Jasper just looks like shit by comparison of all of you. He's just... He's already not a good drinker, and then last night. So yeah, the 3 of you are now here. Go ahead.
Well, I think today's a good day to deal with that diamond. Does anybody else have anything they need for today?
I need ink, and a lot of it.
I can show you. There's plenty of shops in towns that'll have such.
Great. I got plenty of scribing to do while we're in an actual safe town for once. Yeah.
I think I'm all set, actually, for myself.
And then at some point we need to see what I can discern about the hilt for Jasper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
Prepare that spell for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Corvus, Argon, around halfway through your meal, you both realize your boots are missing.
Where my boots go?
They're by the door.
Oh. That.
You both look over there, and you don't recognize your boots, but there are 2 pairs of boots over there.
These don't look like my boots.
Those are not my boots.
Take a good look. No, they're just cleaned.
It's
Probably
been so
cleaned and
long.
repaired. Huh?
It's been so long since I've had clean boots.
Yeah, I guess
They're
she's never
clean.
thought about it being on the road as much as we've been.
The soles have been ripped off and replaced with new solid soles. The laces inside of them have been laced up with what Fordrum knows is yak hair, which is way sturdier than the horsehair you guys use. And Corvus and Argon, you feel something solid towards the toe, but there's nothing in there when you reach in.
Ah, there's a snake in my boot.
You mean, it looks like it's probably steel.
Oh.
It makes it so the toe doesn't break or split. Well, it'll split, but then you just fix the leather, but it won't. Now, if you accidentally bump something, kick something, do whatever, it won't hurt your toe.
Have a couple 100-pound metal object fall on it.
Have something, metal and hot fall on it. Yeah.
I have hurt myself dropping books on my toes, so I imagine this will protect me from that.
Fordrum, before your mom and dad settled down on the 3rd child, she was a very avid cobbler, just as a job, not really a hobby. Like, she was a professional cobbler. So presumably she woke up way too early, got done cooking way too early, and was bored, so decided to fix them up with good boots.
Got it. Yeah, you can probably thank my mom for that. She's the cobbler in the family. I look on the heel. Did she actually initial it or anything?
She did, yes.
Yeah, and I show him. I'm like, this is mom's work.
Well, your mother does excellent work. For the thank you very much.
Yeah, you tell her.
Well, I assume is she still here or did she leave?
Oh no, she gives you boys privacy. She doesn't linger
okay.
or anything like that. Yeah, she's in the house doing things, presumably cleaning.
Right.
There's like 14 people who live here.
Yeah.
It needs to get clean. Like
orchestrating the cleaning amongst the cousins who are not old enough to go to the forge and work. They are helping.
Right, which is even harder job. So like
she's managing the rest of these little brats.
Managing dwarven children. Oh God.
the whole city does it, which is what makes it amazing. So yeah, whenever you guys are done eating, let's go. Let's do stuff. By the way, Argon, I think I'm gonna have to make you a desk because nothing here is gonna fit. So when you get up, will you just sit in your chair for a few seconds for me? I need to take a quick measurement.
Sure.
So after he does that, I'll stand next to him and pick a spot on my head wherever that's just about 3 inches above his lap.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be absolutely class is if you made the desk part of his new floating throne.
Well, that's coming, but I'm trying to figure
while
out.
traveling, just
I'm trying to figure out how much time we really have. So, yeah. So today I will take wood from. I mean, after we go deal with this diamond ore and stuff, I'm probably going to go out and take from the wood pile. I will just make a desk that is 3 pieces of wood, 2 legs and a flat spot and a flat part that just sits there, and he can fly his hair right up to it.
Do you have a preference of wood, or just scrap wood is fine?
For this, it's
Okay.
what's around. I'm not going to go buy wood and do stuff like that. If I got to make it out of sanded any kind of wood.
Your family doesn't really have scraps lying around when it comes to things like they.
We do for the fire.
Oh, you mean kindling? Okay, so you'll use tinders to make. Okay.
Not necessarily kindling, but you know, the big logs that we'd use.
Yeah,
You split
tinder.
that well enough.
Okay, just
Just
all
some
right.
timber.
Yeah. Okay.
This isn't the permanent desk. This is however many days he might be here. If there is wood around the knit house, I mean, like, I keep eyeballing doors thinking I'll get in trouble. Like, that'd be a good piece of wood. And then I'm like, I will be in more trouble than I can handle.
The lumber business here in Uthadern is actually very thriving.
Yeah.
They have a lot of strong woods. But yes, if you want to salvage and everything, roll me a survival check to salvage for free wood.
Just going to do it for nothing because it's, you know, survival check. There we go.
Yes, sir.
Oof, 10?
10. Yeah, I mean, you find enough components to create legs and like a school desk sized desk for Argon. But that's about the best you can really muster.
Yeah, well, unless he says, oh, I'm going to need more room, that's what he gets.
Yeah. So that's about everything. And even at that, you do have to take the actual timber and like hack off the sides and kind of like place them side by side. And it's a little off, but it's almost flat. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Is woodworking
Fine.
one of your proficiencies?
Yeah, probably.
Well, is it? That's the question.
Yes, it is. Well,
Okay,
wood carvers.
Wood carvers, then roll me wood carvers utilizing
I'll also use the channel divinity, Artisan's Blessing.
Which does
Here. I don't know. I've never used it before, so I'll just put it in there.
you conduct an hour-long ritual that crafts a non-magical item that must include some metal, a simple or martial weapon.
Or anything from the equipment list that's worth no more than 100 gold pieces. That can make a
desk.
A bitchin'. Yeah. You want me to use what, wisdom then for this, or dexterity for woodworking?
Still reading, 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
So this specifically makes something that has metal components to it. So I mean, that's like the side clamps and things
Strapping.
like that. So it'll it'll work. No, there's no roll. You just make it after spending an hour. You summon it into existence with a ritual.
Well, there's a wisdom one. Just for fun of it.
No matter what you do, the left side is just a little off center, so it slightly tilts.
That's
just
okay.
a little bit. Yeah, Argon. You have an Argon-sized desk.
Sweet, thanks.
Sure. It's the floor that's off.
Crooked floor.
The floors are dirt in our house. I mean, it's got to be the floor.
No, it's the
Don't
fact
let
the
your
world
mom hear
is
you
round.
saying that. It will drive her absolutely mad.
I would never say that in front of my mother. Are you kidding? She'd clap her hands and it would suddenly go flat. And then
That's
I'd be
because it
wrong.
knows better.
Wow, did you just cast the spell? No, it knows better.
Yeah.
Pow pow. Anyways. So yeah, you guys said you wanted to go out into town and do something? Get your gem fixed?
Yeah, I'm going to take that diamond to, you know how they were like, hey, we could use you at the jeweler's
Lan.
area.
Yeah, Lan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go visit the jewelry department.
Alrighty. So, you walk only for about 35 minutes or so, and it's shocking to everybody considering how busy it was last night. Right now, it is almost a ghost town out here. Like, you'll see a periodic wandering individual, dwarven, elven, halfling, doesn't matter, just popping in and out of shops for, like, mundane things. But other than that, it's really quiet. Like, almost everybody in town is working right now. Like, it's kind of insane. But anyways, as you
Wow.
are heading over to a jewelry shop, Fordrum, you notice a strange-looking individual kind of watching you from over a fence.
From over a fence.
Like somebody's fenced off property, they're just, like, watching you.
Huh. Well, I stare right at them and just go, do I know who they are or no?
You've never seen this individual before in your life.
I stare right at them for about 4 steps. And if they keep staring and don't do that quick look away thing, then I turn and walk straight at them.
All right.
How are you,
Sinclair.
neighbor?
Sinclair, would you like to describe what you look like? As he is beelining it over towards you.
So you see this whitish bone-like mask on this individual with horns coming out of his skull and this purple drape that goes over the back of his skull. Once you get around the corner, you can see that he's wearing what seems strange as far as clothing goes in this environment, since it is light. It's sort of Eastern-like clothing. A robe with what looks like a skirt almost.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps looking at you and then looking down at a piece of paper. On his belt is what looks like a scabbard with a hilt in it.
Does the end of the scabbard actually bend like the picture?
It is curved, yes, slightly.
Huh.
And you notice that his skin has these weird purple marks. And with a like momentary glance, you think you saw something behind him coming off of him.
Okay. So Fordham's
And then at the hilt, there's this small little bell that, while the air is blowing it, it makes absolutely no sound.
So a broken bell, as far as anybody is concerned. But yeah, Fordrum, the person you were staring at and then had your little conversation in your head, and by the time that conversation ended has now approached you, I assume
Right.
everybody else as well, is standing there.
Yeah.
So what How are you doing, friend?
I look down at the paper and I look back up at you. You wouldn't happen to be friends with a woman named Delilah, would you?
I just look over my shoulder at, because I think, did Argon and Corvus come with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I look over my shoulder at them and go, anybody know a Delilah?
Not that I can think of.
Jasper raises his
I know
hand.
the one.
Yeah. And I knew that that's who. Yeah, okay. And so I look back and I go, I think he's the one you want to talk to.
No, she told me to talk to a gentleman, a dwarven man named Fordrum.
Mm-hmm.
She said that you would know how to use this. And I pull from my side pouch a ancient looking tome with different sigils and glyphs on it.
What languages, all of them, do you speak, Fordrum? And Argon and Corvus, because you're close enough to kind of look.
I speak Common, Draconic, and Primordial.
Nope.
Yeah.
I
Common Dwarven Elvish. That's all there is in this town.
Draconic, Giant, and Primordial.
Nope. Okay, none of you read it. As he hands the tome over to you.
I assume
I can read it.
Yup.
So I go, this is a book?
Yeah. She said it's what you need in order to forge a blade.
Oh.
And you just see a little parchment in his pouch glowing.
Okay. So I turn around and I just hand it back to Jasper. Sorry. Yeah, I just hand it back to Jasper and I'm like, we'll need to study this before we blow up another polo field. I think that's what she's basically telling us.
She just informed me that you would be the one most suited at understanding the intricacies of forging this blade.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Who's Delilah?
I don't know. She just met me in Avernus.
Religion check, all three of you.
We were at the bar in Stygia.
Come on, fail it. Yes.
Must be some exotic faraway place.
We don't talk about places like that in this town.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that in like Iman or something? Like
What continent's that on? I'm not familiar with that place.
It's not a continent, it's a level.
A level.
As soon
And
as
I
he says
believe-
level, you can tell he's just lost Fordham. He just goes, huh?
I believe it would be the 5th level. Is Stygia. No, Stygia's 5th.
oh, Stygia is 5. Sorry, when I went with Avernus, which okay,
Yeah, the main one is Avernus.
yeah. That's
Stygia
one.
is the 5th.
Yeah.
The 5th level.
Yes. Each level has its own ruler.
It sounds a little familiar to you, Argon, but no, it's not really tingling anything. Like
I think
It's
I know
something
what he's
you
talking about. It's a pyramid scheme.
No.
Multiple
God,
level marketing,
God, no.
never.
God, no. Oh my God.
I'm not buying anything.
I met a woman, a paladin recently, who's traveling with me. I don't know where she scampered off to in town, but we were trying to find you. She's in a religious pyramid scheme, and good God, they screw the hooch on that. Like,
They always
they are
do.
they are getting the better end of that deal.
Never trust Amway.
They make great mouthwash, though.
But
Side note, sorry.
yeah, I have no idea where she scampered off to. She's somewhere around town. I hope she's not getting more signatures. Dear God.
Signatures.
Yeah, it's part of her pyramid scheme. If you ever get asked,
I'm almost curious
read
how
the
that
fine
works.
print.
I'll have to remember that.
Will do.
And who signs something without reading?
Well, if you two wish to discuss your levels and your paladin, go for it. I need to get to work for a few minutes. Unless anybody has a pressing need, I will read through that novel tonight, or that
What kind
book.
of work do you do?
I forge stuff, I make arts, I make crafts, I make things for his Allfather's pleasure. Weaponry, armor, those are my favorite. But anything. Made a desk this morning. Never made one of those before. It's pretty fun.
It was an excellent desk.
Do you make, and you just see him pull the hilt of his weapon, and you notice that there's no blade.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What's with all the people in the broken blades? Sorry.
At least now I
And
know
they
why,
just sell these
why he
things
knows
somewhere?
Jasper's friend.
and he points to a bloodstone that's embedded into his hilt.
Right.
So do you make these kind of things?
May I see that stone? And I don't put my hands out towards it. I just lean into it. Is it similar to another stone that we happen to have quite a bit of?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So I go, huh. I think we can work with this. We've got stone for it.
I have a smaller one. I don't know how the Forge Masters put these things together.
Yeah.
And I pull out another smaller bloodstone.
And to clarify, he's talking about augments, not
Yes.
Right.
okay.
And I know how they're sort of formed, the gems themselves, or at least that's how they're formed in Stygia, is through blood. And they have properties that I seem more adept at using.
Fordham smiles really big and just goes, well, lad, there'll be no blood here. Not for making stones be into weapons. They'll cause blood later, but that's not how we do things in my way of doing things. I've got to go. I've got some things, but I will absolutely join up in just a few hours with everybody. I have a diamond to create.
So Fortune leaves you all with the new stranger in a strange town.
We're gonna go do some shopping. If you got nothing else you want to do, come with us till we figure out what to do with your book.
Oh, I can read it if you need it.
Oh well, that makes it ahead of the rest of us.
Well, I say I can read it. In actuality, they can read it.
They? Who's they? The paladin?
No, and you just see the bell sway slightly, and you hear a chime, an eerie chime, and it sounds like water moving and a boat going through it. As you see, like purple wisp around his eyes. There we go.
Okay.
That is a lot of ancient scripture. Okay.
What was that, Corvus?
Ogden, what the fuck did he just do?
I'm gonna guess that he tapped into some sort of arcane source. I'm just not sure what.
It was creepy.
I didn't see him cast a spell, so
it's not arcane. It's technically necrotic,
which would still be arcane, unless it's well,
I guess Eldritch would be considered arcane.
yeah, unless your power comes from a god, it's divine.
What would it be considered? An invocation? Arcane?
Your invocation, it's arcane magics. Yeah.
Okay. But
From
it's
your
necromantic
source of
sense.
magic. Yeah, necromancy is
Yeah.
the school of magic. It's
I didn't see him cast a spell, but there's other ways to harness arcane power. Look at Jasper. Jasper, I don't think uses any spells either.
He's
Of
currently
my
tossing a
spells-
rock like 30 feet in the air and catching it.
Good lord.
Well, I don't cast very many spells. It takes a little bit of time to recover from casting. So I have things that allow me to tap into the necromantic arts.
Well, that's handy.
Well, you say handy, and I just pull like the entire like sleeve up from my coat, and you notice that my entire body's riddled in these purple scars. When you dance with death as much as I have,
I carved mine into my arms too.
He has tattoos.
My spell book is all my tattoos wrapped around my body. Not quite the same, but close enough for argument's sake.
Let's go.
I just know how to do a few things.
well, they're not tattoos, but I could show you what they are if you'd like.
Sure. I'm always looking to learn new things.
And in Necril, because I have speak with dead,
Yep.
I call forth the souls of the damned. Come, children. As ghostly wisps come out of all the curse markings on my body.
What spell
These
are
are
you
the-
casting?
This is speak with dead with all
Ah.
the souls that are inside of me.
You
from
see
the
a
river
whole
Styx.
bunch of tiny little spirits pull out of his arms. And then they speak in gibberish in different languages. And the two of you pick up on a couple of the different languages by the various little ones. And after that is done, the ones that were speaking, that were understood, float off and disappear.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's very painful how I got it. If you ever end up dying, don't miss the boat.
I do try to
I'll keep
avoid
in
that.
mind.
If you miss the boat, there is a 99.99% chance you will die. I just happen to be that 0.01%. And it sucks.
Argon will pull out his notebook and write down a note. When dead, don't miss boat. All right, I'll add that to the list. Thanks.
I assumed you guys were talking about this as you're walking. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's jump over to Forge Room. Forge Room, you make it
Yep.
over to your family's jewelry shop. You jump on inside where you see that they have a new group of excavators heading down into the mountain already, and your cousin Lan is amongst them. He's a foreman of the excavators heading down there, and he looks over at you and goes, "Hey, you're going to be joining us?"
No, but
Oh.
I'm gonna borrow your shop for a few hours. Look what I have, and I'm gonna show him the diamond ore.
That's a beauty. Wow.
I gotta cut it. You want to help me?
I'm about to head on down.
All right, that's fine. You
Yeah,
can go.
I can get them all set up. I'll be up within an hour or two, okay?
Will you?
Yeah, and most of them go on autopilot anyways. We already got rid of all the ones that like to sleep inside the corners. Anyways,
Yep.
I'll be back.
Then I'm gonna wait.
You sit there as the secretary, a elven gentleman, is currently going over all the paperwork and just smiles at you.
Yeah. I'll look around the room, see what they have.
Oh, this place has done a lot better in the last year than you remember.
Yeah.
They must have struck a couple of really good veins of gems. Looking on the wall, you see there's a few pathways that are shown on maps, and directly underneath it is like a small raw form of a gem or a metal that they found in that area as a vein. As like they have about 6 or 7 different locations that they're currently working on, active at this point in time. Which is, last time you were here, they had 2.
Yeah, I look over and I'm like, any of those platinum veins?
No, but we just made a deal with some people in the Empire to work with them and get some access to their platinum.
Does that deal suit, or is it questionable?
They said they kept it in the family, so I assume it's doing quite well.
Just out of curiosity, Joey, do I think this is the same? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Platinum veins are incredibly rare.
Right.
Yeah.
As soon as he says kept it in the family, that's where I went, oh, wait. I always forget that Corvus's family's in the Empire. As soon as I heard that, I was like, wait, huh? And then now I get it.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I go,
why the
okay.
fuck would we go? Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. That's for the, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. Who are you, by the way?
I'm Fordrum. I'm the slightly older cousin from Lan.
Oh, welcome. Yes, I'm a new hire. They picked me up to go over all of their bookkeeping and secretarial work while they're working. Do you want some ale, tea, whiskey, coffee?
You've been around plenty of the family, haven't you? Thank you.
We have
No,
huge supply.
I'm so full that I haven't eaten Mom's breakfast in a few months. That I can't. I had a hard time walking here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, I'm just going to keep going over all this paperwork, Jazz.
Do your thing. I didn't mean to interrupt. Nice to meet you.
You as well. And they keep going and humming a jaunty tune. Roll me a history check, Fordrum.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
all these intelligence things. I don't do those.
11. You recognize the hum. You heard it
Huh.
while you were down in the Empire.
Yeah. Huh. I think I know that song. What is that? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's no interruption at all. Just a tune my mother used to sing when I was growing up.
Huh. What'd you say your name was?
Crossfield.
Nice to meet you, Crossfield.
You as well. Well, less formalities. You can just call me Marquise.
Call you Marquise?
Yeah, Marquise Crossfield.
Whoa. Are you from the Menagerie Coast?
No,
Oh.
no, I'm from
Your
the
first name
Savalier
is
Wood.
I like a step closer to him. I'm like, your first name is Marquise?
Well, yes, my
So
my
I
mother
was in the-
named me after somebody my father that she met in the Savalier Wood.
Wow.
His name was Marquise something. I never really cared about the story. She thought it was important.
In the Menagerie Coast, all the ruling families are Marquise, blah, 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 whatever their last name is. That's like their title. Like we would go King Ron or King something. But in their case, it's Marquise Hodo.
Just as a clarification, in Uthadern, it's arbiters are the people who have all of the authority. There's no kingship.
Yeah.
It's all arbiters. So there's a group of individuals.
Okay, so I'd go like, we call it Arbiter, Throat, or whatever it is. But in the Menagerie Coast, it's Marquise as the title.
Really?
Yes.
That is very fascinating.
Yeah. So you have quite the royalty name. Congratulations.
Huh. Wow. Well, I'll try not to let that go to my head then.
Yeah, if you need to.
Yeah, we all need a good boost every now and again, right? and they reach over back behind the counter and pull out a very nice looking glass bottle of some type of whiskey and pours themselves a shot and then corks it and just starts sipping. They do pour a second one and leave it off to the side. It's just like,
oh, I don't let that stay lonely for long at all.
All right.
I was like, here's to your name, Marquise, and I'll let you get back to work after that. I apologize.
Yes, no problem. An hour and a half later, Lan comes running back up here. And he's covered in dirt already, just being down inside the mines, and goes over. All right, let's see. That's beauty. Crossfield, hey, hello.
Crossfield could be royalty, and we don't even know it. Did you know that?
Badass.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. We're just going to go in the back shop. You got everything out here? Yes, you do have an appointment in 5 hours, though.
We won't be that long.
Good. So, he goes with you over into a back room that has the entire long-winded process of processing these types of ores and metals and gems and all of that. Down to the flowing water on a constant cycle just to filter out any dirt or anything like that. And then the actual station where everything's a controlled environment with magnifying glasses and all of that jazz. Yeah, he's expanded a lot since you were here last.
Yeah, this is nice, dude.
Yeah, reinvest, right? That's what Pops always says.
Yep, he's a smart man.
Yeah. All right. That's actually why we picked him up. I mean, I was getting so many headaches going over all of that shit.
Yeah.
Apparently he loves it. So good.
Great.
Alrighty. So the two of you go over to the side and he looks at the gem. What's its current value?
It's a lot. Hold on, let me look at the party lot. Diamond ore worth 3,600 gold pieces. I know.
Go up to 4,000, I believe it goes up to.
Good.
And he looks at this massive gem, like you can barely hold it in one hand with all of the excess rocks, and goes, "This. If we found something like this, we'd set up a second shop."
I know.
All right. Where'd you get your hands on it? And he starts like putting it through the process of like filtering off all of the loose dirt inside of the tumbling machine.
The cleaning and stuff like that. And I just look at him and I go, honestly, we found it in a dragon horde. Dude, I killed a dragon. And while he's looking away laughing, I hold out a horn. And then I pull out a tooth. I even see something really cool, and I put them away, and I dig into a pack, and I pull out a piece of dragon hide. Guess what we're gonna make this week?
I might have to take some time off work. Okay, this will be fun. All right. Anyways, so you go through the long process. Are you proficient in jewelers?
I am.
You are? Okay. He's going to assist you with the process. Shockingly,
Okay.
you're better at it than he is, just because of your proficiency bonus.
Yeah. And I'm going to cast spells. I'm going to make it into, while it's not ritual casting, I'm going to make it into a prairie ritual worshiping moment of creation to the Allfather without the donating to the church part. I'll cast even enhance ability on myself. I'll cast guidance on myself, all that stuff before I roll.
Go ahead and roll. Utilizing dexterity, because it's about cutting off the imperfections. You have advantage and add a d4 to it as well.
Okay. Advantage. Hold on. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta do this. It's gonna cancel this. Jeweler's tools. Dexterity. Submit. And a D4. Fuck.
So
12.
you managed to cut off most of the large chunks, and the value goes up to about 3,800 at this point.
Right.
But to get the ones nearest to the actual diamond, you're really out of practice of doing this.
Yeah.
You think you're going to need another day to tamper with that and fix it up
Okay.
perfectly.
Right.
And
Next is going to be
that's-
the softening it and facets and all that stuff. And that's
Mhm.
going to take a wheel and stuff like that.
So you're going to have to retry tomorrow. Anyways, back over to the other three. Other three, where were you shopping?
I need a load of ink for my spell book.
A load of ink, and that's the phrasing we're going with. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind
But
of
I
ink?
can give you the definitive dollar amount that I specifically need, if
Yes,
that's what you
please.
want.
Sin, what were you
Is
saying?
it a specific kind of ink, or is it just plain?
It's
like-
magical.
It's the ink for transcribing spells, so it's not just like
Like
ink for
Sharpie.
writing a book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A 50-year-old Staples ain't gonna cut it.
Right.
Ye old staples. Okay.
It costs
Okay, so
almost
it's
as
not
much
it's
as
not
ink
like
printer.
contract ink or
No.
Okay.
No. You have mundane ink to do what you do.
and then
he
I have
needs,
the other ink as well.
Right, but he needs spellcasting ink. It's
Yeah,
very
okay.
specific.
Because I carry 2 different kinds of ink.
So, Argon, with the assistance of somebody in the group, roll me an investigation roll, please.
So does that mean with advantage?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Investigation.
Yeah, you're supposed to be good at this.
Oh my god. I'm supposed to be. You know you can't have me roll int rolls. There's rules against this, I think.
Can
Yeah,
I
you
try
can
just
never-
for shits and giggles?
Yes. Yeah, straight
A
roll.
1
Just,
and a 3.
Yeah, see, I didn't show you up at least.
it's really hard to find spellcasting ink in Uthadern, apparently. So
I'm at
as the
plus
three of you are
9.
walking past, Argon, you are so infatuated with the weird, ritualistic / creepy spellcasting that Sinclair seems to be capable of doing. And Corvus, even though you're supposed to be helping him, you're stopping at like every knick-knack shop that has any interesting looking thing and playing with it for 5 minutes before going on. Like, you guys are typical tourists here. Like,
We should for ice cream. Away.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna
What
look at the souls that are in me, and I go, "All right, any of you from Uthadern?"
there's a very oh wait, are you using one of your spells?
No, I'm using my. Let me post it.
Yes. Unfortunately, that does not mean you get to speak with all of them at any given time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go to a graveyard and speak to a dead person and be like, "Hey, where's the magic shop in town?" Or you could, ask someone here in town.
I would have pointed. There's magic shops down that street as we walked.
Yeah.
So, forgot.
Unfortunately, it was forgotten because this is way too hilarious to allow.
Yeah, I
not
got
to
stared
happen.
down.
We're just wandering around, picking up like little scale models of some of the statues or something, so we can, like a little Eiffel Tower thing.
I'm gonna say, between Corvus, Argon, and Sinclair, each of you have to remove 6 GP from your
Okay.
character sheets, just on random shit you're buying here in town.
You got
Oh,
T-shirts
bro.
that say, "I went to Uthadern and all I got was this stupid T-shirt."
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper than the Menagerie Coast. It's only 6 gold here. Even you,
Yeah.
Sinclair, like, it's fun. Like, this is a fun town. Like, hey, open carry.
Also, in the
allowed.
Menagerie Coast, we got a wisdom save here. Nah, we just went right for it.
Yeah, you guys just like it. Like,
I'm gonna buy an I Heart Uthadern hoodie.
yeah. But anyways, after you've been wandering around for a period of time, you do get one individual who looks over at you, and they go, "Hello, sweeties. Are you looking for something? You all seem kind of lost.
He's looking for ink, and for some reason, we're buying all these knickknacks.
Everything is so interesting in this town.
Sinclair, yours is a little Yeti that's a bobblehead. It's amazing. Like it's
made out of tin.
You don't know how the head moves like that. It makes no sense. Anyways, they chuckle and laugh and go, if you're just looking for the ink, we have a whole bunch of things in the general store you can buy.
I believe he's looking for something more specific, like magical ink.
Oh, you're looking for the hibachi shop then. Go up one layer. It's over towards the southern corner. And, well, you can't really miss it. Closed shutters, closed door. The sign out front just has a massive H on it.
Thank you. You have been most kind and very helpful.
Yes, you're welcome. Take care. As the three of you now walk away and start heading over towards the hibachi shop. As you get up there, you go over to the front door and, well, as per usual with shops, try the doorknob, but it seems to be locked.
I'll knock.
I was just about to.
Are you open? Is there like a hours sign somewhere?
No.
No.
And there's also, like, no exterior windows at all. Just the door. And the building, by comparison of everything else, is, like, boring. It seems wooden, like a dark wood. That's very simple.
You don't think that dwarf pointing us to a place to get mugged, do you?
The door then opens.
I haven't
You
met
to think
anyone.
that, yes.
Because I feel like I'm about to get mugged like I did on layer 2.
Everyone check your pockets right now.
All right, roll an investigation, all three of you.
I already did that once, remember? And I found a little toy penis.
Yeah, you found a dick.
Oh!
Hey, Argan, you
Hey!
are missing absolutely nothing on your person. Corvus, you're fairly certain you're missing nothing on your person. Sinclair, you have things on your person?
I have a major migraine now.
Yeah. You start looking, you just go, I don't like this. Anyways, you all look inside of this shop, and it's really dark in here. Like, there's candle glow coming from a counter about 25 feet ahead of you. There are these very large standing shelves on either side that stretch all the way up to the ceiling and have 5 different levels full of crap that is covered with sheets all over. It's dark in here. Very dark. And as far as a business goes, especially in Uthadurn, is just creepy.
I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy.
Okay? You are now louder.
No, I'm going to try to make any of the things that would normally hold a flame ignite and brighten.
You watch as a chandelier above the doorframe ignites, and it adds a glow across this area. Just the top shelves and stretching down just barely to where all of your heads are inside of the glow, but it doesn't go down low enough to actually cover your feet. You still can't see the bottom shelf properly.
Is there like a shopkeeper or like a
Well, do you
someone
step
looks
inside
like a
of the
counter?
building?
Oh yeah, I'm going in.
Yeah, might as well.
Argan
I
ducks
follow.
underneath the door frame to get inside, and the other
Argan-
two walk in.
Argan doesn't have enough experience in the real world to think that this is anything but normal.
The three of you walk inside and look around. Argan, you take a cursory glance, and you don't notice anybody in here.
Hello?
No
Is there
answer?
anyone here? I'm looking to buy some ink.
as you say that, Argan, you hear a bell coming from the front desk. Ding!
Where'd that sound come from?
Sinclair, you look over. There's a bell on the desk.
I think we need to go ring the bell.
Okay, I'll head over to the desk.
All right. The three of you walk over there, and Argan, as you stand there and reach down to ding the bell, let me roll for this. All right. Corvus, a box moves off of one of the shelves and kind of like hip checks you from your back. 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Even with my high AC, I'm kidding.
You look
Beat up
back
by the
inside
shells.
of the box, and it appears to have a lot of ornate, tiny little dipping trays filled with ink. There's about 24 of them in there.
Found the ink.
Is that the right kind of ink?
Argan,
pull-
looking at the bottle, it looks like the right kind of ink.
Okay.
And
Is there like a price tag or something on it?
you look at the box, and from above you, a piece of parchment falls down, and it says 50 GP per vial, which is the going price of ink.
Okay.
But when you look up, you don't see anybody.
I am going to
This
try.
store is fantastic.
You think we
It's
could get
laborless.
a deal if we buy in bulk?
People give discounts?
Well, if
Sinclair,
you
roll
buy
me a
enough in bulk.
persuasion.
I never knew people did that. I always just
It can happen.
went to the supply shop. And I just went to our supply stores and got what I needed.
It's the one charisma skill I'm not proficient.
A different small box falls off of the top shelf and hits you on the back of the head, Sinclair.
Ow.
Ow. That must be the answer.
Nope.
That must be the bargain bin.
How many vials were in there?
24 of them. So it's 24 times 50 as a maximum amount of ink.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you can
I don't need
purchase.
that much.
Yeah.
So 20. So it's 50 per. So I need. I've got. Let's see. So I'm going to buy 16 of them.
All right. So you take out the 16 and place them onto the table and count it out. And then you pull out, how much gold is that? A lot, right?
800.
800 gold, and stack it on the table. And as that kind of happens, you watch as a cloth falls down to the table, and then the vials one by one lift, place into the cloth before it folds on all four sides and ties with a nice little ribbon. Then a small tray full of mints is pushed over towards you all.
Sweet. I'll grab a bit.
I'll
Okay.
grab one as well. Do y'all have anything else you want to buy or sell here?
Are all stores like this? I'm pretty sure before we got here, Argan has never shopped for anything in his life because he's always just lived in the school.
Well, I mean, there's always the school shop, but that's not a
Yeah.
real thing. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Just
like a
ran by
college shop.
that's just ran by students that are doing work programs for scholarships.
Well, the last place I bought anything, the customer lost his hand. So,
Oh, well, that sounds like a terrible store.
well, he tried to cheat the owner, and you don't do that on level 3.
You keep referencing levels.
Yes, there's a lot of them. I believe it's what, 9?
Uh,
How many levels are there?
Pretty sure. I think you're actually right.
Sin or Sinclair.
Mhm.
You feel the perching of tiny talon-like feet on your shoulder, but you don't see anything.
Something is on me.
Roll a religion check.
Oh god, this is gonna hurt worse than the box.
You're actually good at this one.
Ow!
As you look over and you think about the situation, god damn it, this is an imp shop. It's invisible, flying around all of you.
They're
And right now,
Imperials?
it's on your shoulder, Sinclair.
I say an infernal. Either you show yourself right now, or swear to God on Lucian's name, I will cut your wing off.
Sorry, but I'm under strict orders from the boss lady that I'm not supposed to show who I am. And all of you hear the voice coming from his shoulder.
Okay. Well, you can at least talk, and you can sit there.
I
Didn't know I was dealing with an inferno. Sorry.
I'm an envoy of, 5.
Ah, that prick.
Yep.
All right. Hey, anyways, thank you.
Could be
for
worse,
buying
it could
all
be
the
her.
ink. Oh, yeah. She's nasty. Anyways, thank you all for shopping here today. Hope you all had a fantastic time. I would
Do you
recommend you
buy?
spit out that ink, that mint.
Don't spit it out.
I spit it out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's just
I
one of my
knew I
playful
shouldn't
bits.
take it. I don't know why, but I knew I shouldn't.
Corvus, for once you were right.
Do y'all
didn't
buy
trust
at
the
this
GM.
establishment as well?
I'm authorized to, but I'm not authorized to make any dealings until the mistress comes back.
Okay. Do y'all have anything y'all wish to sell to my little friend here on my shoulder?
Oh, I don't know. Wait, on your shoulder. Oh, the voice.
Yes.
I don't know.
He comes
what-
from where I come from recently.
Oh, from level 5?
Oh no.
Oh.
No, I'm from level 2.
Ah,
They're in the pyramid scheme together.
evidently. Them and the paladin.
Ah, shit,
I-
you know her. Oh, she was annoying as hell.
She came by.
Yeah, she came in here wondering if she could put up some flyers, and I kept ripping them down even though she kept putting them back up.
I keep telling her she's in a raw deal. Lucifon would literally kill every single person in that organization if he
Oh,
found
God.
out about those
Hey,
deals.
don't speak his name, please. Sorry. But anyways, yeah, if you have anything to sell off, go ahead. If you're looking to buy anything else, please just ask.
Yeah, I think Jasper's got all of our loot. I don't know that we've decided what to sell yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
let
far
me
as
sell you all
buying-
this crap. You guys went over it a couple of sessions back, everything you guys wanted to sell, so
Oh,
there you
okay.
go. You sold it. Done. Like,
Yeah,
Fair enough.
nice and
As
easy.
far as buying, got anything fancy?
what's your perception, Corvus?
Oh,
It wouldn't. 14? Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. All of you hear him attempting to whisper to Sinclair.
Do you particularly like these guys?
I'm under contract to make sure they don't get screwed over.
Alright, we don't want to piss off Big Levy. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some interesting things. You just don't want to touch anything on shelves labeled 1, 6, X, or Z.
1 C,
Okay.
X, or Z.
Wondering why you're mixing alphabet and numerals, but
It's sections. Alphabetical is so you know which shelf you're looking at. Numerical is which level you're looking at.
oh,
Is there anything in particular y'all are looking for?
I don't know that
I
we're
know
looking
the dwarf had mentioned y'all like gems and things like that.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna buy any gems without Fordrum here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's his
more
expertise.
stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might buy some rocks or something with Jasper's knowledge if he was paying attention, but actual like cut stones, yeah, I'm gonna leave that to Fordrum.
Yeah, my knowledge tends more towards weapons and armor and that sort.
Fortunately, the mistress took all of our weapons and armors to supply to individuals she's working with recently, so can't really give you any of those.
That's fair.
Are you looking for something to bolster yourself, though?
I'm always interested in that sort of thing.
All right.
Give me a second. Sinclair, you feel the push off your shoulder as
Mhm.
it flies somewhere, and you all hear it rummaging around at the top shelf behind the counter, and it brings down a box. And then a key appears out of nowhere, unlocks the box, and it opens it up, where you see there is an incredibly expensive-looking emerald. Very large. Perfect cut emerald. And it has a very solid look to it. Like, this gem looks harder than any item you've seen before in your life.
So, this one will, well, if you're looking for something like this, it can bolster an individual to be, sometimes 10 times as tough. You know, making your skin almost like steel. Huh?
I'll take a look at it. Like,
And you see there is a price tag right beside it. 36,000 gold.
Oh, jeez.
okay, that's a little bit out of my price range.
Out of character, it makes your Constitution 21 as an augment.
It's something I'm very much interested in, but it's currently out of my price range.
As soon as we kill and loot about four more dragons.
All right. So that's a little bit too rich for your blood.
The box immediately snaps shut, and it gets lifted back up to that shelf.
I pull out a small tome and write down that price.
Yep. Around this time, Fordrum, you're done doing your day's work that Lan could afford, and you've been looking for your allies, and they didn't go to the shop that you mentioned last night, but to be fair, they were pretty drunk. So you're going to the only other shop in town, Hibachi, which you've never felt comfortable at. It seems more shady, even though they've technically never broken a law as far as anyone's been able to tell. It always felt shady, and for once the door is wide open because nobody closed it, and you see your allies are standing over by the front desk, but the weird, creepy, tall lady isn't here.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Oh, we just saw like a very beautiful emerald.
Huh.
Our assistant here is showing us the rare wares here, this establishment. We got is it Atron? I'm sorry, I'm bad with names.
Argon.
It's hard to remember names with all of these voices.
I get you.
They never shut up. You think being tormented for all eternity, they would be peaceful when they get freedom?
Oh, probably not.
Huh.
Well, are any of you how do I nicely put this, particularly adept spellcaster?
I say that I just bought 800 gold worth of magical ink.
Well, sometimes people are just shitty with their spending.
Well, I'm that too, but I love the magical arts. What do you got?
All right.
So, it goes over to, sorry, not there. Here. Not there. Here. It goes over towards one of the other shelves and pulls out a jar that seems to have a snake skin floating around in some, like, slightly yellow-looking liquid.
There we go. Ain't she a beauty?
It just twirls it around.
Then Ford just sees this jar floating around in the air.
Yup.
What exactly does it do?
Oh, okay. So you're not that type of person. Oh, it's all right. It can still be useful to you. If you were to use this as a component of your spell that you're casting, if creatures are usually good at, not being bothered by that spell, this will make sure they're bothered by it.
Interesting.
Out of character, it's a one-time consumable item that, once you cast a spell, if a creature is usually resistant to that type of damage, it's not resistant to that instance of the damage.
But it doesn't affect them if they're immune.
Correct.
And it's consumed
Correct.
on usage.
Yeah.
And how much is this snake component run?
500 gold is labeled on the side.
Okay.
In like a thin string that has like a little piece of parchment on it.
That's not a bad item. It's just I don't know if
Well,
It's a bad item.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad item. I just don't think we've got the money to.
I don't think it's
I
a
don't think
500 gold item. It's the gold.
all right. I see it. Y'all very particular in what you like.
And Fortune, this entire time, you don't see where the fuck this voice is coming from.
Right.
All right.
You have any scrolls?
We got one or two lying around somewhere. Do you need them to be arcane or divine?
I would prefer arcane.
Oops, sorry.
Are you interested in knowledge that's outside of the understanding of this world?
Definitely.
Wonderful.
Right?
So, we have this scroll.
And a tube, a locked mechanism style tube, flies down from one of the shelves and lands directly beside you.
So this one, it's a bit on the powerful side, of course. Does a real nasty job of imbuing some erupting power within you without hurting you at all. And then anything that's sitting a little too close to you is gonna take a real hefty burning and jolt of damage against them. Not to
Sounds
mention,
like fun.
it can also explode walls.
Ooh, explode walls.
The spell's called Pyroclasm.
Pyroclasm.
And it has a cool
Oh,
name.
and if you can learn that, that'd be useful.
Yeah.
How much is pyroclasm?
Is this still a one-time use?
No, you can learn it, I believe.
If he wants to take the time to learn it, he could do that. However, that doesn't necessarily always work. This is 2,600 gold.
Ooh,
It is a
geez.
7th level spell.
Oh, which I can't even scribe that for a while.
Nope, but hey, they have it.
They might not the next time we coming through. Provided there is.
Yeah, but I'm out of gold, and would be a significant chunk of the party's gold for something that we can't use for quite a while.
Is there anything your master needs by chance? Like, does she have any work that she needs done that you're aware of?
Well, she
I'm
told
pretty
me
sure.
I'm supposed to keep an ear out for any foreign objects not of this world or any of our neighboring ones. And of course, we do have a different scroll that might be a little more up your alley. This one is like the other one, just a bit smaller. It illuminates your head, harmless to you, of course. However, you temporarily gain the ability to teleport between spaces in a flash of fire. It only lasts for about a minute or so, but within that time, as often as you would like, you get to burst, leave, burst, arrive, burst, leave, burst, arrive, and it really does a number on tampering with people who might be near you when you left or arrive.
That sounds like fun.
And this
Fiery
one's considerably
teleportation?
cheaper. Well, it's called Flickering Flame.
Huh.
Yeah.
A fiery teleport.
You
What
know-
level spell is that?
It's 4th level out of character, but oh yeah, Argon would actually understand that.
It's a 4th level spell.
Anybody who's not like a learned spellcaster, they don't know what the fuck levels are. You just do it and it happens.
Yeah.
Oh no,
And
he's in
it'll-
the fucking MLM. Fuck.
And it'll run you 30 or 300 or 400 gold pieces. 400.
The price keeps fluctuating a lot.
Yeah, that was me fucking up trying to do
I
quick
know.
math in
I
my
did
head.
too.
It was
I liked the 30 gold price.
Yeah, no.
well, I was going to say 300, and I was like, no,
Yeah,
that doesn't make
300.
sense. That's not a number.
That's not bad.
I don't know if this would count, but I might have an otherworldly item that your master might be interested in.
Oh, what is it?
It's a brooch linked to a fae.
Can you place that on the table over there?
And you see a rolled out piece of fabric folds over the table.
Would I get it back if I do?
We're not in
you
the
would.
business of stealing from people.
I just gotta make sure.
God,
He would
we're not
get
all
more
that
trouble.
evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would get more in trouble if he swindled you right now.
It's
Yeah.
not that kind of town.
Yeah, we pay our taxes.
I could raise this building in 2 minutes.
It'll be the time I don't ask that I get stabbed. I'm just-
Absolutely,
saying
you're
it.
right. Out of character, you're right. However, you bet your ass it will be yoink. Where'd it go? Just
If an
I'd place
envoy
it on the
wasn't
table.
here, he probably
Yeah,
might
yeah.
try to skim you.
maybe. But yeah, you take out the very, very nice brooch and put it on the table, and then you hear quieted humming. I would like all of you to roll me a perception check. Nope.
Yo.
Argon, you
Mm.
hear a shift coming from behind the wall on your right-hand side. Suddenly. And he goes,
Excuse me. Do you mind if I just show this to the boss real quick and see what she thinks? She's a little busy. Can't come out right now.
I suppose so.
Very well.
I'll be right back. And the brooch lifts into the air and floats over towards that wall, which opens up and is apparently a false door. Fordrum, you're not sure if that's regulated or not. Anyways, the door
Doubt it.
closes.
Such a cool shop.
Yeah, this has been here for a long time.
Could use better lighting.
Yeah.
But I guess it adds to the mystery of the facility.
Yeah, of course. It's about the
It's a
atmosphere you
tripping
get.
hazard, though. I mean, they knocked down like 2 whole bids. I'm sure someone would just trip over those.
Argon, you hear from behind the door. And then the door opens with the brooch floating back out.
All right, I am authorized to make a deal on this now. I can offer you 2,000 gold. Or I can do a straight trade for that other scroll you were looking at.
The pyro one?
That is correct.
Think that trade sounds good. Anyone disagree?
I do. Oh, never mind.
It's actually in our favor if we get it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
The
we're
scroll's
getting
3,000, so
600.
trade-in value is more than just payout
Yeah.
value. You know, it's
Yeah.
the GameStop logic here. You know,
Uh-huh.
which means it's a shitty company. Anyways,
I mean, I'm certainly all for it, but I don't want to, you know.
I think
Nothing else here you want.
Well, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
That is? Okay.
Yeah, this is the like level 7th spell.
Yeah,
Not
the emerald was like 36K.
Yeah.
There's an emerald. Oh, that nice, pretty emerald you guys are looking at? We
Yeah.
want that.
That's a little too expensive for me to offer just for this.
Right.
It's 32,000 gold.
But that's the connection to the Feywilds.
It's connected to a specific individual, and my boss would be willing to cut a deal for it, but this is what I've been authorized to offer as a deal.
Right. Ask her about the emerald.
Right?
Fortune, roll me a persuasion or intimidation. Your call.
The
Mm,
man wants an emerald.
Too bad we didn't still have the
I
skull.
mean, I'd like the emerald, sure, but I don't imagine I can press our luck there.
I don't know if I could assist or not with that.
You would have had to have been role-playing
Yeah.
this situation. Yeah. But anyways, it leaves the brooch and flies back over, goes through the door again. Argan, you're the only one who hears from underneath the door frame.
Sorry, the dick. It's, I'm trying to get it. Damn. Okay, well, what? All right.
And the door opens, and you can almost feel like the sagging shoulders floating towards you in the air.
So, if you want trade-in value towards that emerald, we could make it worth 3,500 gold, knocking that off the price of the emerald. However, that is all she says she is willing to offer for that deal.
huh.
Yeah.
So I look at Corvus and I go, so I don't really know how math works. Do we owe her 3,000 more gold?
30, almost 30.
No, it was
26.
30. It was 32,000 gold. Was
So
the
we
price
owe
of the emerald.
28.5.
Yeah.
28.5 is what you would owe.
Or
that's,
you could
uh,
get the yellow jar, the pyroclasm, and the flickering flame, which is 3,200.
Well,
Because that's the value he was willing to give us at
towards
this
trade-in towards that specific item. That's not the
Yes.
value they're willing to just give you on a credit towards the store. I mean, a
But as
single
soon as-
transaction is worth more than losing 3 transactions worth of wealth.
Yeah, but as soon as Sinclair says that, I go, so now, does this now mean we could trade it in for the spell scroll, the floating snake skin? What was the other thing?
It was two
yeah.
spell
The
scrolls.
2 spell scrolls.
The 2
and-
spell scrolls and the floating snake skin, because that would be worth the same amount of thing. Go on, go ask her.
Yeah, if you want to make a sale today,
He flies
And-
over back
and I
towards
look at
Corvus,
Fordham. You're
Corvus
from
does
here,
feel
right?
bad, but he's also not willing to stop it because it's
Sinclair was speaking. Go ahead, Sinclair.
Fordham, you're from this town, correct?
Yeah.
I can see a few infractions that might raise some suspicion as far as, safety and security goes here, if need be.
You mean Fordham's just bewildered, doesn't even know what you're talking about for infraction.
Well, our floating friend here, and then the fact that as much lighting as that lantern gives above us, everything below our kneecaps is literally a tripping hazard.
That's what I
That
said.
can't be good for business. Plus, if you knew what our floating friend was,
Lad, this is Hibachi's. It's been the weird magic shop in town for years. There's anyone who's going to use that tactic has already tried and it didn't work. They pay their taxes. We're not going to We're not going to destroy the neighborhood over a deal for some magic items. Besides, I have another magic shop we can just leave and go to.
The floating individual comes back over.
All right, this is the absolute final offer that she is willing to work on. If you try to go for anything else, the entire deal is off. That brooch and 100 gold for the 3 items.
So now I just look at Corvus.
I'm in.
That saves you like 400 gold from the total pricing. It's kind of like you're getting the snake skin for free.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We're good.
I just reach my hand out to the
Uh,
creature.
You feel a tiny taloned hand grab yours and shake. And then all 3 of the items are brought over to the table and placed down in front of you. So, first one, flickering flame.
Argon, did you get the ink you needed?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Thank you.
Also,
Oh.
remove 100 gold from the party loot. Whoever did that.
I'll do
one.
it.
Thank you. All right, I'm trying to get over to the others.
Corvus is paying for that shit.
Oh, hey. The way I see it, it's Argon spells.
I'd pay for it. I don't have 100 gold left. I have 78. You're willing to have all. You're welcome to have all of it.
After
Yeah.
all the knickknacks we ended up buying, I'm
I
down
got the
for
other
4.
22 if you need it.
That's the other spell. Pyroclasm can be learned by druids, artificers, and wizards, specifically. And it is an evocation spell. Do you get evocation as an option, Corvus, as a not a wizard?
Yeah, but not 7th level.
Okay,
Or-
so yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
I
learn
think
that one.
it's 5th level for you, Max.
4th.
4th. Oof.
Yeah, but he also gets to attack 3 times in a turn at that level.
Yeah.
So, flickering
Okay.
flame can be learned by wizards, warlocks, sorcerers, and druids, and is
I
also evocation at 4th level. So Corvus, you could learn it.
Potentially.
I can't.
You get those 2, and I already gave you the description of the snake skin. It's a consumed item that you get to use as part of your spell. So. But yeah. And because anybody watching might not know what we just went over, the first spell, Flickering Flames, is a 4th level evocation, 1 action, range of self as a cast. It's a duration concentration up to 1 minute. Your head becomes lit with a harmless fire for the duration of the spell, and you gain the ability to teleport between spaces in a flash of fire. Once on each of your turns for the duration, you can and spend your movement to magically teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of you. The distance of the teleport is equal to the amount of movement spent. When you enter a space for the first time on a turn, using this feature, you erupt in an explosion of flame that deals 5 fire damage and 5 radiant damage, or 2d4, to each enemy within 5 feet of you. So, it is only your movement you are using to teleport around like that, up to 30 feet at a time. So, it's really good at avoiding opportunity attacks. Boink, 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 boink.
It's flaming Misty Step.
Yep, for a minute.
So, can you teleport twice if you use half your movement for each one?
If you dash,
Or-
yeah, as part of your movement. Or it says once per turn, right? Once on each of your turns. So you can still dash afterwards, but yeah, you can only teleport
Right,
once
but-
per turn.
But it blows up, but it explodes when you teleport in. So you've
Yeah.
got to enter into combat for the explosion, and then you
Yeah.
would have to take attacks of opportunity to get away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you take a feat.
Yeah, which really isn't all that common for a wizard.
The other spell, Pyroclasm is a 7th level evocation, range of self, but has a radius of 30 feet. Concentration up to 1 minute. You imbue your body with a destructive power which erupts from you in powerful explosions. At the end of each of your turns for the duration, you emit a powerful explosion in a 30-foot radius sphere. Creatures other than you in the affected area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 3d8 fire plus 3d8 thunder damage, or half as much on a success. This effect deals double damage to unattended objects and structures in the affected area. So you turn yourself into a literal fucking bomb that just keeps exploding.
Just don't do it in confined spaces, underground.
Yes.
Or
So, yeah.
do it intentionally in those kind of spaces.
Guys, we need to get through this wall.
The entire mountain range just
What
falls right
wall?
on top of them.
Just
And
make
don't
sure
do it
there's-
near snowy caps.
Make sure there's 35-foot ceilings and you're fine.
Alrighty.
Oh.
So, you get all 3 of those items for the trade-in of a brooch and 100 gold. A really good deal for all of you guys.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure working with all of you. If you
I might come back for that emerald once I make some transactions here.
please do. All right. Take care. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm. So,
Oh, I just thought of something.
Hmm.
I can do those. I could do 4th level spells with that thing. I could give that flickering flame to like Fordrum.
Wow, it's like that would be a really good spell for this party in particular to have
Yeah,
access
I
to.
didn't even think of that.
It's a
You're
good
like-
spell if you can learn it.
That
If
would-
you
Yeah,
can learn
you're
it.
like, why would I ever use this? And then you're like,
Yeah, I know.
Fordrum.
That makes a lot more sense now. Now we have a teleporting dwarf.
Oof.
I can get somewhere.
Once we
Uh.
get away from the building, I tell Forgem. So yeah, that thing in there is from hell.
Wait, I thought it was from level 3. Are
2.
the levels hell?
Two.
He's from
2.
2. No one likes 3.
Do you all need to go to the other magic store, or
I'm good at this point and broke. So it's up to you guys if you guys would like to go anywhere else.
I mean, I'll go if everyone else wants to, but I don't really feel a need to.
it's getting to be lunchtime soon? So,
That too.
Alrighty.
take you somewhere good to eat. Since we're way up here, there's some nicer restaurants. Corvus, you might like one of these. Because we went up the hill. They went up the hill to get to Hibachi's, right?
Yes.
That is correct.
So we're in sort of the more highfalutin part of Uthadern.
Okay.
So I'll
Now-
circle till we get to one of those restaurants that we ate at once when, after my sister had a child and we went and had a little family dinner because mom didn't feel like cooking, and that place.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take them to a meal there.
So, a nice, hearty, outdoor patio looking establishment that sells massive turkey legs wrapped in bacon, any amount of ale you could imagine, but they do have a menu as well. It seems like everybody sitting there just bought the turkey leg and is eating that. Looks really good. But yeah, you all walk in, take your own seats as is usual, and you see a dwarvish individual walk over. Hello, gents. Do you need a menu?
They have an elven menu too, if you guys want. And I just look at her and go, nope.
Understood.
I could use one.
Very well.
I'm
Anyone
gonna
else?
trust whatever Fordrum orders, and I'm just gonna follow Fordrum's lead so far.
And I
Alrighty.
point around the room and I'm like, I'm getting the turkey leg. So, but they have like vegetables and things like that I know the elves like, but that's on the elven menu. So it's
Who
good.
doesn't like meat?
There's lots of good stuff.
Well, meat's good for the majority of your diet, but you need some veggies in your life to, grow up strong.
I look at
I'll
her
get the other two
and
menus.
laugh like she made a really funny joke.
Yeah. But anyway, she walks away and comes back with a couple of menus down for the two of you. And yeah, they have like typical brunch sounding food that they offer here. Do you want to get yourself a nice folded tortilla shell with some chicken inside of it and other vegetables and shit? Do you want to get yourself just shredded turkey and some vegetables? Like, it's all like pretty normal, like afternoony type of food that you can eat. And then at the bottom it just says happy hour, turkey hour, which is this hour.
Happy hour, turkey hour.
Yep, I'm doing that, and I'm doing a Giant's Horn ale. And I recommend this, but not for you, Jasper.
Jasper's still a
turkey
little
leg,
weak
though.
in the stomach.
It's
Yeah.
a little raspy.
But
I know
anyways.
what I should get, but I'm getting the same damn thing you got.
Sinclair, do you want a grilled cheese?
How much does the turkey leg cost?
The turkey leg costs 2 silver, and it
Oh, then
comes
yeah.
with a giant horn ale, which is the status of this entire place.
That and some veggies would be fine.
Alrighty. Throw in another 5 copper, or round
Okay.
up to a silver if you don't want to be cheap and tip.
I'll pay for all of it. I'm not going to let anybody pay for it. When she brings the bill, I'll just slide her the
Sweet.
whatever it is, half a dozen gold that it comes out to.
It comes out to a gold. For
We're not done
everything.
drinking yet, so I appreciate
yeah.
that you think it's a gold, but we're not. It's early.
Okay, well,
This is
you're all
going to be a
brought out.
5 gold affair.
Yeah.
You're all brought out a giant horn ale, which is. Have you ever seen Das Boot?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's that, but it is a horn shape.
Das Horn.
Like a minotaur horn.
Yep,
Ooh.
it is Das Horn ale,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes Fordrum his arm to hold while holding the turkey leg and drinking.
And I explain, when you see how the horn tilts, you have to put the point up. If you put the point down, you'll splash it all over your body. I promise.
Damn it! I was going to have everybody roll.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You warned them. That's fair. You would know.
They would.
That's definitely good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Arkin, physics
Oh,
while
horn.
drinking. You haven't played a game like this in years. But anyways, you all have these massive turkey legs where after just the first one and the ale, yeah, you guys are full again. It is delicious. And
This
it's
is the
like
first decent meal I've had in a long time.
yeah.
Sinclair, where have you been that you haven't eaten?
Well, I was in a war.
Oh,
That would
Then I
which
died.
one?
The Marquette?
Yeah.
Marquettean Shogun War.
Never heard of it.
It's off the coast of Marquette.
Huh.
It's a little small island nation
Yeah.
to
All right.
the west.
Yeah. I kind of know where that is. We sailed near it, I think. Well, one of the sailors said, Marquette's that way.
We said, "Wow, it's
Argan, you would be aware of where Marquette is. That is fucking far. Like literally the opposite side of the world.
you should travel a
died.
very great distance."
Then I ended up missing the boat.
Missing the boat from Marquette?
Nope. On the river Styx.
that again.
And yeah. That's how I have these. And I just point at all the curse like scarring on my body. and then had to spend quite a while in prison in hell, and then
Yeah, prison can be hell. I've been in a couple times myself. That's how I met Corvus.
yeah,
We didn't kill the guy.
Nope. Framed.
yeah.
Twice that
Well,
happened to me, sort of.
they found me laying unconscious next to the river Styx and threw me into the frozen fortress of hell.
Where is? So you keep calling this place hell? Where is
Did
that near this Marquette that you're talking about?
No. It's. Have you ever heard of a place called Avernus?
No.
Okay, so let me try to explain it as.
I'm gonna
best
need
I
another leg
can.
for this.
Yep, and you're gonna need another drink, and so am I because this headache is gonna get bad.
Done and done.
Every time I have to recall information, I'm gonna have one hell of a headache unless it's in my book. So when a person dies, they take a ride with the ferryman on the River Styx, unless you miss the boat. At which point you would normally be lost into the River of Damned. If you pay the ferryman his toll, and you've been a decent individual, you get to go to the celestial plane. If you don't pay the man, well, you get to go to a very nasty place called hell, where they torture you, rip your soul apart, and put it back together just to rip it apart again, over and over and over again, for all eternity. Unless you're smart enough to figure out how to cheat the system and get out.
So you weren't a man of faith.
I was a man of honor to my shogun. And I did not take any of the evil contracts that were offered during the war. So I would say I am a man of faith in my ruler, but not into the traditional sense of faith.
You're not a religious man. You're
Correct.
a honorable man.
Exactly.
Well, I could work with that.
And when Delilah offered me a means of getting out of hell to assist y'all in forging this thing,
I stare at Jasper.
I
Uncomfortably
still have no
six.
idea who she is, but she uses some weird ink that I don't know about. And basically she told me to assist y'all, and she will look for my wife.
Did you say she uses some weird ink?
Yeah, I pull out the contract that me and her signed to bring you the book. And it's like this whitish gold seal that's on the bottom. She used this.
But we can't see the writing, correct?
No, you can.
So
It's just glittery, like a gel pen.
got it. Question.
Oh, okay.
Question is, does this writing look familiar to what we saw on the nephew of Marquise Hadot?
How do you mean?
Remember, we found a kid who was being magicked into being.
Yeah,
some
I
kind
know
of
who you're talking about. I mean,
thing?
what writing? You mean the writing around the ritual where you found him?
Her writing. Does her writing match that same style?
Roll me a insight check.
Come on. Big one. Fuck you. God damn it.
9. Kind of hard to remember back then.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I felt like that would have been etched in my memory, but all right.
Well, the writing was, but like if the exact writing is there, like you don't have photographic memory, obviously. Your
No, I
intelligence
know.
score is too low. So like you remember what it looks like, you just don't recall if it was the same fluidity of script and handwriting.
Yeah, I'm artistic, so I thought maybe if there was something about the way she made her J's or something like that would.
Right.
That's all.
Also, the language it's written in is completely different. This language looks.
I can't read it, either of them
It's
anyway.
celestial. The bottom half is.
Yeah. It's celestial writing, so that's why I'm trying to compare it to something you have read before. Have you
Elvish.
ever read? No, Elvish is nowhere near as beautiful as Celestial. Celestial is almost like hieroglyphic, but
Right.
more ostentatious in nature. So
I just mean in the grand scheme of what I would have to versus dwarven blocky square writing, Elvish flows
Kinda.
more. So
yeah, I think that would probably be it. Yeah,
that'd be my closest. I get it.
yeah. So yeah,
All
no
right.
great comparisons for you. However, Argon, are you proficient in any tools or anything?
I don't think so. No.
Oh yeah, because wizards can't do anything except think. Apparently.
He is proficient in ink.
Yeah.
Right, I was wondering if you had like cartographers or anything like that. Like,
No, none of my backgrounds gave me any
Calligraphy.
proficiencies.
Yeah. Forgery.
Yeah.
I would say, Argon, roll me a history check.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I have.
Making him roll an intelligence check.
Dirty 20. Hey, sometimes he rolls average. Like, we don't expect you to roll high, just average. That's all. So, dirty 20. What are we looking at here? I'd say the script seems periodic to you, as in from a generation back, about 100 years or so. The way that they used to write things down, and you've read all manners of different books from across the ages that your family has access to. This appears to be from the handwriting of a generation back. Though you can't press towards the specific location it would come from, it does seem to have a more rigid script, or rigid flow. So like jagged edges in their shapings and things like that, which would point to you somewhere more, how do I put this nicely? Tight-assed.
Okay.
So not your continent, at least. Because, the Tal'Dorei Republic, they're not really tight asses over there. There's a few people, but in general, it's more like do unto others and get fucked if you don't. That's kind of their air. So you imagine the script comes from a location that's a bit more tight assy.
Okay.
Yeah. You can learn a lot about people just from their handwriting and things, guys, in case you didn't know. Like, you can know if somebody's a doctor if you just can't read their shit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I can't do the same kind of writing she does in contracts. Mine are limited in what they can provide. But there's no risk, unlike contracts you would make with like that creature from that shop.
You make contracts? Are you like a lawyer?
They're more like offerings. If you'd like, I can explain some of them.
Sure.
So each one has unlike the other creature, which would use souls, this uses a monetary valuation. And that's mostly just the paper and ink. So for 25 gold, I could bestow upon you a contractual boon that lasts for the day, that would benefit you in courtesan type conversations, diplomacy, hostile negotiations, things like that. Deception. For a little bit more, at 50 gold, I can make you more fearsome to your foes. And for 100, I can make it to where you're protected, more or less, from being taken over against your will.
Well, that one's certainly handy.
Yeah, it does prevent entities like succubi from literally seducing you into their whims, and then stealing your soul that way. So it each one has their benefits if you use them, but unlike my counterparts, uh, I'm an envoy that doesn't deal in souls.
Well, that's good. Souls are expensive.
Yeah, and they should be cherished.
So
I've made an agreement to free these ones that are inhabiting me. They cling to me, trying to escape the river Styx.
interesting. You've lived quite the life.
Yeah, I just want to find my wife and then find the individual who caused the war. He brought Oni to our lands, and they started turning people into monstrosities.
He brought up what to your lands?
These mass individuals that are our ancestors believe that they're like related to demons.
Huh.
And they make very, very bad deals with people. They bribe you with power and worldly possessions, and then turn you into a monstrosity that has no need or use for those worldly possessions without you realizing it till it's too late. They caused the war to shift in a bad way. I was a part of the final defensive line for our shogun. I have no idea if he's still alive or not.
And a shogun is the person you were following, right? That you were honorable to?
Yes. I guess the closest thing would be like a king or empress.
Got it. Huh. Interesting.
Argan, roll me a
and then I
history
just
check.
chug the next horn because I've got this massive headache.
Argan and Corvus, actually. Nice. Something about the story sounds familiar to you, Argan, but you can't quite place it.
Oh, sometimes I regret leaving the library. I just have no way to research things anymore.
That should be a spell. Research. Oh yeah, legend lore. Anyways.
Yeah, I have that.
So
So I guess it's time to ask Jasper who this Delilah is.
Huh? Oh.
Who's
she's the lady in my head.
Right.
No, she was the lady at my bar who gave me this book.
Which was where?
Hell.
That was the 5th level.
Does Jasper have the gateway to hell in his head?
I look over at Jasper now, like,
that doesn't make any sense. That's weird.
She doesn't seem to be from hell because she can basically bypass the Baylors, which is not an easy feat to do.
They're the
She literally
Balthors.
put one. She literally put one to sleep that was guarding the gateway out.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah, I don't know how she did it. She just walked past him and he just went unconscious.
And this is the lady in your head?
Yeah, she helped me a couple of times actually, when things were getting a little dicey. Corvus, you remember when we were in the Verseglade?
Yep.
And then that person who was chasing after us, and we were trying to free all of those captured people that they were going to sell into slavery somewhere. And
Yep.
she offered to help me, and my spell, Slow, he looks at you, Argan, you would know what the spell is. It slowed his heart until it stopped.
Oh.
It helped us escape, and she asked if I wanted that help, and I took it. I mean, it saved all of our lives. I think it was a good idea to save 8 lives.
So, is the sword that we're to create hers or yours?
It's her husband's?
And I look at the new person, Sinclair. Any knowledge of her husband?
I know he's missing, just like my wife is missing. That's about the most I know of it. I know she's not a bad person.
All right.
Oh, you know that.
Because-
Oh, that's great.
Well, I know it because
That's
of the
Jasper.
fact. I know it because she understood that I wanted to find my wife, and she was willing to help me as long as I brought you this. Which is a lot better deal than the Stygian Lord was willing to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to wait another couple 100 years in hell
Yeah.
before he would move an inch.
How long were you in hell?
Time is very, very hard to keep, especially when you have folks jabbering about things that happened long before then. They talk a lot. And as soon as I can get them out of me, I will be happy.
I knew some professors like that.
Well, how do you get him out of you? Like, is it like a removing a curse or something?
I have to. It's sort of like rituals in like basically there are things that I can do that will release them from their caption or their torment, and by using one of those abilities I tap into a form of magic that most don't approve of because of its linkage to death, but it actually frees their souls so that they can move on to the proper afterlife, not the forever torment one.
All right. So removing a curse wouldn't do it.
No,
All right.
I just have
Well-
to continue to use my abilities until they're all gone.
All right. Well, tomorrow I'll need to go back and finish cutting and shaping this gem. It's cleaning overnight because it's such a big rock that it wasn't very easy.
But I think it's about time we take a look at what I can find out about that hilt.
All right. Let's
Legend
go
Lord
back
time.
to
Yeah, I think it's Legend Lord time.
where do you want to go do that?
I need a fairly quiet place. I mean, it doesn't need to be super isolated, I guess, but I'm gonna burn some incense and do some arcane rituals, so I don't want. I can't be disturbed during the casting, but I also don't. But I don't need a whole ton of space or anything.
And if you want, I could read you this tome since you said you couldn't read it.
You know what? What language is it in? Because I
personally don't know. I just know I can read it.
Huh.
So it's one of the boons that I have.
All right, then let's. Joe, you can correct me, but I think that probably going back to that jewelry shop is probably the quietest place since we can't go casting spells in Mom's house.
Yeah.
She's already told us no, and I think in the back room at the shop would probably be the little trickling water won't hurt anybody's mojo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's go there. Argon will bring the chair. We'll get the desk, and then we'll set up Argon for however many hours he needs to do that. I can cast tongues on myself and understand whatever Sinclair reads.
No, I can speak it in common if you need me to.
Well, I mean, it won't matter if you know how to read it.
If you need me to speak it in the actual language that it's in, I can do that as well. We can both cast tongues that way.
I like that idea just so that the translation isn't missed in case.
Okay.
And
yeah, I can use one of my limited spells to do that. That's not an issue.
all right. Well, I only need to understand it, so you can read it any way you want, but I'd rather it not be translated in case.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll cast tongues once we're there on myself so that I'm speaking the native tongue of the book.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And I'll cast tongues so I understand it.
So.
And I'll also cast. Would guidance help, Argon?
It's not necessary. I don't know for the spell, but I guess that's kind of up to what Joey wants to do with it.
Yeah, I'm using this, by the way, Jero.
It is not needed. So, are we legend loring or are we reading the book?
We're doing both. Argon's
Okay.
going to legend lore, and
So,
Claire's going to read the book to Fordrum.
So, the first 100 pages in this tome, Sinclair, as you're flipping through them, are all about the properties of different metals, heat signatures, practices, tools, and other choice things that to you makes zero fucking sense. Fordrum, this is almost like a very advanced beginner's guide to how to blacksmith. Like,
it's a metallurgy.
Incredibly.
Yeah, it's a metallurgy tome. I get it. I'm excited.
And when you go through it for the first couple of 100 pages, you then come across a page that reads The Recrafting of Craven's Edge, or The Reforging of Craven's Edge.
Okay.
And it goes over the necessary way to mold it, shape it, the specific stone that the blade was made out of, which is apparently it is gray slate stone, which is apparently the name of the stone that you guys have because it looks just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the image of Craven's Edge, the hilt matches perfectly the hilt that Jasper has on his side.
Cool.
And it is the full description of how to actually craft. Roll me a blacksmith check utilizing intelligence, sir.
Am I providing any assistance at all?
Yes, you
reading?
are. Yes, you are.
Okay.
You're giving him.
By the way,
access to
I have
knowledge.
another Minotaur horn literally right next to me for when I'm done reading this.
Woo!
26.
You have
need
advantage, by the way.
heat.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, you can roll again. You might get higher.
I could roll one better.
It makes no difference on the DC chart, though. Yeah, 26 is still pretty good. So, this is the image I posted in NPC Pics chat of what the blade looks like. Or will look like at the end of everything.
Mm.
Ooh,
Oh, that's different.
Yes.
pretty.
And you need, in order to destroy the magic protecting the gray slate stone in a way that it can rebuild itself, you need a fire that is specifically 2600 degrees to 2750. No hotter, no cooler. Any cooler, it will not destroy the magic, which you saw what happened. It exploded his backyard. Any
Yep.
hotter, and you will permanently destroy the magic.
26 to
You-
27?
26 to 2750. So you have a 150 degree range, which normally is perfectly fine. However, Fordrum,
Mm-hmm.
you're the best smith here in town. Your father's forge has a maximum temperature of 2650.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But-
definitely see where there's a problem in the idea of how to forge this.
You did learn from your
Mhm.
uncle and your father about a new form of smithing they are using,
Yeah,
utilizing lava that they got
yeah.
from the place in the Alps. That's the name I
Right.
forget.
Folket
again?
Alps. Flocket Alps.
Yeah, because isn't that how your dad got all the stuff on his arm, all the wounds on his arms?
From
Yeah.
Kravelrod, yes. The volcano here in the Alps, Kravelrod. Apparently it's
Uh-huh.
active enough that you can actually reach down and get lava out of it. Now, from what he says, that lava is really easy to set to a temperature, but unless you are working with it nonstop and fueling it, it cools super fast, which means this would be a process the moment you start, you can't stop.
Right.
And looking at the blade itself, it'll probably take you 2 full days of working, 48 hours
Yeah.
to complete.
Right.
So it's going to be a major test of your stamina.
Well,
It's also about
Yes.
precision.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, at the same time, keeping heat just means keeping air flowing on it. So small breaks for eating and things won't be horrible. Just one of you is going to have to crank and blow air on the lava while it's keeping it hot. Right? Or do I think there's got to be constant work through all that 48 hours?
You would have to learn from your father how he is keeping the heat of lava. You've never worked with lava before.
Right.
Like,
All right.
the heat from lava is something you've never worked with. You know they do this over in Cinderella Sanctum.
Mhm.
You know, the Stone family, I believe they are?
Yeah. Dirt.
Yeah. Dirt family, the Dirt family. You know they do that up there. But you yourself have never practiced with it. Luckily, you have knowledge from your uncle and father that you could work off of in this manner.
Right.
I can tell you right now, though, it's not just blowing air on it, because that would actually cool off the surface. Since it's not a flame, it's magma. You have
Got
to set up a mechanism to churn the magma, almost like kneading bread
Yeah.
continually, which means
Maybe-
someone's job, that's going to be their job, churn the magma nonstop.
Maybe your dad can help in this regards as well.
We'll see.
Me.
We'll ask.
No.
He's very busy on another project, so the chance of him really being available slim, especially for 48 hours, because they're doing 24 on, 24 off between the two of them. But like we'll ask. We'll see what we get. I'm wondering, do we measure? How do we measure? One of the ways I know that you can measure the temperature of steel is if you just put salt in the forge. As soon as the salt melts, you know it's at forging temperature, because salt melts at whatever it is, 2100 degrees or something like that. So we'd probably have to go to sand, see when it turns to glass to get to 2600.
It says inside of the manual of how to reconstruct it that if you put the gray slate stone, it will glow with a red hue on the exterior of the stone when it is nearing the proper temperature, purple hue when it is within that range.
Yeah.
And the moment that purple darkens any further is when you're about to break the magic on it.
Do
Red,
I
purple,
think
black.
we have enough stone that we could take a small test piece?
Yeah, you guys took more than you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be worth it for me to practice with a piece, just to practice heating and staying. Because one of the things I'm wondering is if I could use another form, like if I had magic, like a searing smite or a sacred flame to reconstitute the lava if need be. I know that searing flame's radiant, but it seems weird for Forge Cleric to not be able to make that work in real heat, but whatever.
As for control over it, that's going to be difficult. Adding heat, if it's cooling, that you can do easy with your spells. Controlling how much you add, that's going to be the hard part.
Yeah, that's why the practice piece.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, apparently the name of this blade is Craven's Edge.
Right.
And you have everything you need to forge it other than magma.
Right. So tonight's negotiations is going to be like, Dad, could I borrow some magma?
Fuck off, son. But yeah.
Fuck, kid. Go get it yourself.
Yeah.
Have I ever come across the name Craven's Edge at all?
History check.
Yes.
So one of your extracurriculars when you were younger was the study of the dangers of magic, which is a course where they give you situations, kind of like a mock trial. Not mock trial, sorry, that's a bad analogy. They go over different situations without giving you particular names of, this is the circumstance you are dealing with. This is what you have at your disposal. These are your goals. This is what you're telling people. Is this morally wrong or right? And you went through this course, and like it was fun for a couple of years when you did it, but you were never really good at finding out what was actually morally right and wrong. Mostly because the way they always described it to you, it was like the same two sides of the same coin. Like there's almost no difference, except one of the stories you were told about. If you were put into a situation, this was the story they gave you, where you lost your husband who had become incredibly ill. You were about to become a mother with no husband in a place where that is incredibly frowned upon. To what end would you stop trying to bring him back? Now, of course, everybody went, but we could just always ask the people who revivify people to bring them back. And what if that didn't work? But then we could go to the more powerful people. But what if we couldn't and those people didn't exist? To what end would you stop this? And you realized very quickly that trying to bring him back was perfectly fine. Going as far as to harm other individuals in the process, though, that should be frowned upon. And one of the circumstances after that story that you later found out was correlated to that story was, if you know your way of life would be better than anybody else's, to what end would you stop trying to take rulership? If you knew you could make quality of life for everybody in the world better, to what end would you stop seeking it? And you found out about an individual who had a name. You don't remember that, but he was known for his unique blade that was stolen from an ancient location in Tal'Dorei called Craven's Edge.
Okay.
Now, you also know that Craven's Edge is supposedly has been across generations. Like, for thousands of years, different people have wielded it.
Okay.
It's like a legendary blade.
Right. I will pass that on to everybody else, what I know or what I remember from our thought experiment on morality.
I'm just chugging that entire horn ale again. I brought one with me and I'm just pounding it because my head hurts.
And then I guess it's time for legend lore.
All right, what are you legend loring?
What are we legend loring? Are we doing the hilt, or are we just doing Craven's Edge in general? And then we've also got, because we know it's from, it was her husband's sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what we were told?
Yep.
I'll ask the king in my head also, just for my own knowledge. Do you know of anything of this Craven's Edge?
Forgot there was someone in your head too.
Yeah, the two of you get along great. You're roommates that have different work shifts.
Yep,
It's
He's gonna be like, give it to me.
Craven was the beast god that protected the coast of the Lucidian Ocean during the time of the Age of Arcana. That blade was crafted from Craven's spine when he was slain.
All right.
Well, that's certainly interesting.
well, if Fordrum tells you guys.
Well, that's true. Yes. Sorry.
So I'll hold on to that until Argon does what he does. And then I'll say, I've heard from the voice in my head, and I will explain it. But I do want to know what Argon finds.
Okay.
I'm not real clear on how all this arcane magic works. So.
All right. So, Argon, tell me very specifically what you are legend loring. You have the object in front of you, which it will attach to. You have the name Craven's Edge. Is there any other details you are giving? Remember, the more details you give, the more you will lore.
Right. So, Craven's Edge, Delilah, I guess lost
Delilah's husband.
Yeah. Delilah's lost husband. Trying to think if there's anything else we know.
The material that requires to make it.
Yeah, the stone. Oh no, Fortune didn't tell me, so I don't know that.
Are
no,
you
that's fine.
Are you listing this out loud before you start?
Yeah, I'd be taking notes on what I'm thinking
The
about.
stone is called gray slate.
It is called Gray Slate. Also, that voice in my head said that it was forged from the spine of a beast lord, beastly god that protected the. What was the sea called?
I believe Lucidian Coast, but let me double check to be sure. Nope, it's not on that map.
Lucidian Ocean. It's at the bottom.
Yep, the Lucidian Ocean. That's the ocean between Wildemount and Tal'Dorei.
Right.
The lower half of it. So this would be the Lucidian Ocean.
Right.
All the way up here as well.
All right, so we'll add that to the list. Anybody else have anything else they're gonna add to it? Jasper, you got anything else?
What language was the book in, Jero?
The book was written in Celestial.
The book is celestial, so it has some connection to the celestial plane.
Okay, that's useful.
I didn't even need tongues for that. I burnt a spell for no reason.
Hey, I was letting you show off, man. It's fine. You know, like
I only get 2 of those a day.
All right, this is all we're doing today.
I have no idea what language it was initially. I
okay,
get through about 100 pages. I'm like, wait, this is all celestial.
This is what I have. Craven's Edge, Delilah's Lost Husband, Gray Slate Stone Blade, forged from the spine of Craven, Beast God Protector of the Lucidian Ocean.
Celestial connection.
Well, the spine of a celestial. It's a beast god. There you go.
I guess
Like
that
that.
would be why it's celestial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a name for the book itself?
It has no name.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else that we know at this point. So I guess I will cast it with that.
Alrighty. Please remove the incense from your character sheet.
Yep.
And now, everybody,
Time for some lore.
Argon, as you have evoked the knowledge stashed away to some faraway location, knowledge that has been lost or forbidden on this object, one that you have never tampered with before. You all watch as the incense in the room bellows and encapsulates you all. It spreads to every corner, and then you notice colors begin spreading between the incense as well. The colors begin forming images. You see a massive, large creature whose entire being is made out of spines, sharpened edges all the way down like blades, swimming through the ocean. It raises one massive claw, and you realize the size of it by looking down at what appears to be a full-sized galleon ship that is smaller than its reach between its thumb and its little finger. It crushes the ship below the water, destroying it. And as it does that, you watch as 6 other ships move up, and arcane blasting starts shooting over at it as a battle ensues. The battle continues in what feels like hours. before the first of the spines of this creature falls off of it, and it retreats temporarily. An individual floats out on some type of floating hand and draws that spine from the water, carrying it back to their vessel before the fight continued. It seems like this stalemate of battle between this beast god Craven and those mages persisted for weeks before a new vessel arrived. On this vessel, there was an individual at the front of the ship. Large, broad shoulders, open chest that is very hairy, masculine, and well-shaped as well. And they're holding a blade resting on the shoulder that looks exactly like Craven's Edge in the image. The individual looks behind them as different people step forward and lower their necks as one by one he cuts them off. His people, his crew. And as that happens, the blade grows more and more powerful. And you see his body grows larger and larger as he gets more and more powerful as well. He then twists the blade around and is flown up towards the sky as Craven is distracted by other creatures and is dropped on top of it, where he battles against this Leviathan by himself, seemingly adapting the power of the god and the sacrifice of those other lives before slaying it and dropping it to the bottom of the ocean. Now, that blade and the individual are brought back to the vessel, but when what appears to be an archmage approaches him, holding out a large box that blade would fit into perfectly, the individual's eyes seem to be bloodshot with rage as he slices through the mage, and it takes most of this crew on the ship to stop him, incapacitating him and stealing the blade from him. Now, the blade is placed into this box and stashed away. And over the course of what feels like hundreds of years, the blade remained hidden. Deep within a location that, Argan, you will recognize, but I will not say out loud in case you do not wish to reveal it to them. Where an individual comes in. They seem to have broken into this location and stolen the blade. They fight their way out, slaying anybody in their path, and they too grow stronger and stronger as they do so. Then you realize this individual is about to engage in a war. What looks to be the calamity? The war between the gods themselves? The individual runs to the front line, wielding Craven's Edge and slaying enemies of one of the betrayer gods. Destroying the servants of one of the betrayer gods. Seemingly stealing this blade to have its power to wield against this type of threat. After that, during the battle, a massive light flashes in the sky and skewers him into the ground, dead. Where you see a large tiefling woman with dark eyes and massive wings walks over, taking the blade, and one of her eyes turns red before she is shot with lightning herself, but she does not die. Her eyes return back to their icy cold blue before she returns it to that same location. Another couple hundred years, an individual takes the blade, stealing it again. dying again as they were running away. Another couple hundred years. Same thing. All the way up 6 different times before you see a strong-looking man. He has a fine goatee, sharp features, slightly pointed ears, and has bits of gray streaking through his long flowing hair. He looks almost human if it wasn't for the ears. And then somewhere in your mind, you know this individual is a vampire, as you've met a vampire recently. He seems to have stolen the blade. And then leaves, calmly, without killing anybody, without seeking vengeance or murder. He doesn't even wield it, he keeps it sheathed, just as a safety precaution. Before he travels up to Whitestone. And that's everything you learn about it.
Are we sure we want to reforge this? I'll tell everyone about because that's not what I thought of when you said spine.
You meant like the physical spine.
Yeah, I was going on spine. A spine, yes.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense now that you've told the story.
Yeah.
But I'll tell everyone about it being, it was made from the spine of the god, and then...
You all saw the vision. That's the perk of legend lore. It happens in a radius around you. For everybody to see that entire story unfold in a circle around you. And after you all experience that, this is actually where we're going to be ending the session, y'all. We'll be right back. We're ending it. Players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a fantastic time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye.